Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. This is your host, Keely Austin. Today is Thriving Thursday. It is December 3rd. I'm excited to be here with you and so grateful to have you all here with us this morning. Our quote of the day today is, treat a man as he is and he will remain as he is. Treat a man as he can and should be, and he will become as he can and should be. If you haven't already, mark your calendar for our national conference. It's March 18th through the 20th, 3 full days of awesome training. Our theme is shifting higher into focused transformation. We also have our dates for Leaders Retreat. We're going to Mexico, August 13th through the 17th, 2021. Every Monday, we have our Renatus Founders Live at 4 o'clock Mountain Time. It's with our CEO, Bob Snyder. We go over some important announcements as well as recognition and a featured story of the week. Make sure that you're tuning into the Founders Live to make sure that you know what's going on, the latest and greatest with the company. There's 3 kinds of people in this world: people who make it happen, people who watch what happens, and people who wonder what happened. Every single week on Thursdays, we have our weekly private capital masterclass for AIT students only. That's 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And we also have our dream call Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to about 9:45. Sometimes we go about an hour. It's been a really, really good call where we just talk all things real estate investing. And then Fridays, we have our fabulous Friday morning with Lily. Make sure you tune in with us tomorrow. And we have our daily Zoom up call with Scott Rowe and Michael Huggins. That is happening Monday through Friday at noon. It's just about 15 minutes where we hear someone's success story. So make sure you're plugging in with that, getting your guests plugged in. And then there's a whole playlist on YouTube of these videos. So make sure you tune into those recordings if you're not able to make it live, and send those recordings out to your guests. And make sure if you're sending those recordings out, you're also getting your guests protected, so you can still pull up the Helios calendar, find one of these Zoom up calls and get your guests registered for that. If you haven't already, make sure you check out our latest and greatest, the video that Michael put together with the OES. It's just going over what the optional event subscription is and why it's important to be a part of that. And you can also sign up for the OES through this website as well. So last night we had an awesome house tour. Every Wednesday night we do a house tour. And this was Andy Coates' flip. So he picked this up for $330,000. His rehab is $94,000. Cost him, using none of his own money, so he borrowed money, so that cost him $16,000, and then closing costs are $18,000. ARV, he's already got at least 20 showings booked. Just barely put it on the market yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 2 days ago, and he's looking at a $142,000 net profit. So very, very, very exciting, super impressive what can be done out there in today's market. Most people don't think that you can find good deals like this today, but they're out there. If you'd like to take a screenshot of this, we have our reoccurring weekly events. Make sure, again, you always register in Helios for our events. Help out our registrars, make sure everyone's checked in and protected. And then we have the access to the events is through teamelevateusa.com. You can either send that to your guests or register your guests through that website as well. Every Tuesday at 12:30, we have our profits intro. That's Mountain Time. Wednesdays, as I just mentioned, we have our house tour at 7 p.m. And then alongside that, we also have an AIT bonus track study group offered in Spanish. And Thursdays, we have all kinds of events to choose from, all happening at 7 p.m. We've got our house tour offered in Spanish, Pillars of Wealth in English, follow-up and funding. We have an onboarding session, an essential study mind, a business development study group, as well as multifamily, wholesaling, and short-term rental study groups. We do record these morning calls. You can find them on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Our Facebook page is Renatus Team Elevate. Lots of important announcements there, lots of content that you can plug in with and network with other people. So make sure you're a part of that page. And then of course, you can always find these recordings there. And our YouTube channel has these calls as well as the Zoom up calls that I mentioned. So just type in Elevate Renatus on YouTube and take advantage of all of those resources. Today, Thriving Thursday, Wanda has been sharing her time with us every Thursday for about an hour in the morning to go over what's working for her in her business. And she's brought a really nice touch of personal development and mindset training to our morning calls, which is absolutely crucial to not just business, but life in general, to have the right mindset. A little bit of Wanda's history. She was born in Puerto Rico and earned herself 2 master's degrees despite many life challenges that she faced. In her career, she succeeded in many ways, but only to an extent where she would hit the ceiling each time she attempted to reach higher. She spent most of her time trading hours for dollars, and on the side, Wanda was always looking for business opportunities. She definitely has an entrepreneurial spirit, but nothing really happened at the time with her attempts at starting businesses. So about 4 years ago was when Wanda found Renatus, and because of the systems in place here, she has been able to exceed her income goals in less time and with less effort. In her first 8 months alone, she has earned herself 6 figures and has continued to do so each year after. Not only that, Wanda has also completed over 20 real estate transactions. I believe she just picked up her 21st or 22nd. So congratulations, Wanda. We toured her property last week. So Wanda has also built a large team of entrepreneurs, and that allows them to succeed as she has. So make sure you take notes. I'm excited for what Wanda has to say today. Good morning, Wanda. How are you doing?
Good morning, Keely. Thank you for that introduction. And thank you, everybody, for being here on the line. I am always excited to see everyone and to participate in these calls just to share some of the things that I've been learning, because every day is a new day just to learn and to grow. And basically, I'm always seeking for learning and in personal development the most, because I like to improve myself and to become a better person every day. And I want to try to inspire everyone to become better. And that's what always like what Bob Snyder said, that what you put right here between your two ears is the most important thing for your success. And today, I want to share 10 principles to keep your vibe high. And then I'm going to go over something that I have been practicing to kind of bring the intrigue into people to come to the business. So I'm going to give you kind of two sides today. So we're going to go fairly quickly over these 10 principles. I tried to post it on Facebook under the live event right now, but it didn't let me do it right now. But I will do it after the meeting. So let me go over and look it up and go over these principles. The number one principle is let go of things you can control. Let go of things you cannot control. I love this principle because sometimes we just bother too much because the guest didn't come to the meeting. The only thing that you have control of is inviting them to the meeting. You do not have control if they come to the meeting or not. So let it go. If they don't come, then what else do you have control? You have control on following up. Normally, when I follow up, if somebody doesn't show up and I follow up, I will assume, especially now that it's online, I'm going to assume that they were there. Or even when we were in face to face, because we have like 200, 300 people in the meeting, I'm going to assume they were there and we missed each other. So I said, oh, how do you like the meeting? I'm sorry, I didn't catch up with you. I just want to follow up, assuming that they were there, even if they didn't. And then they will tell you, oh, I wasn't there, sorry, or whatever. But that's the way that I let go the things that I cannot control. So the only thing in the business that you can control is your invitations and meeting the people. Like Bob Snyder in the video was talking about the 4 money making activities. See the people, tell the story, build for events, and follow up. Those 4 things you can control. You can see the people, you can find them. You can tell stories. Yes, you can control that. You can invite them to the meetings and you can follow up. But whether they come or not, that's you don't have control over. And then you need to let go those sentiments that may come out, those frustration that may come to you, like, oh, they didn't come. Oh, they're not answering my test. Well, if they're not answering your test, next, next, next. All right, so that's the number one thing that you need to do to maintain your vibe high. The number two is avoid comparing yourself to others. Avoid comparing yourself to others. This is so important. And this is very, very important. It's mentioned in the Drive book, because if you go internal versus external in the Drive, that will solve that problem. You don't have to compare yourself with anybody. And I think it was last Friday that I mentioned to you that my daughter was saying, Mommy, don't worry about what the wholesaler is going to make. Worry about what you're going to make. If the numbers are right for you, it doesn't matter if the wholesaler makes $50,000. It's okay. But just check what you're going to make. Because if I start comparing, oh no, he's making more than me, that's been comparing myself. And comparing doesn't help you. Comparing brings you level of energy down, and then you're not going to produce. So for you to be in the productive mode, you have to continue keeping that vibe high, and not comparing will be a good idea. So in anything, comparing with, right now we are doing a bliss and a lot of people are making sales. No, be truly engaging in congratulating that person instead of saying, oh, she's making sales and I'm not making sales. No, that's not good. Let it go. Let go of that. Number 3, keep your faith larger than your fears. Keep your faith larger than your fears. Remember that fear is a false evidence appearing, for false evidence appear real. So basically, let it go as well. Don't be afraid of talking to people. Don't be afraid of inviting for the meeting. And I'm working on that. Don't tell me that I'm perfect, because, like, for example, picking up the phone or calling somebody, for somebody like in cold call, for example, that is something that I'm working on constantly. And that's one of my fears. So I'm constantly working on that so I don't have to go through the fear, but have more faith in when I'm approaching that person, I'm going to be making an impact. And if you know what is your purpose, and if your purpose is to help people, then not to sell, but to help, then you say, oh, I can talk to this person. Like the person, he said no at the end of the day, but I was able to meet him on a online network event, and I started the conversation because he posted that he didn't know how to start becoming an investor. So I'm kind of brought him into the meetings. He went to do different house tours, and now he said, "Oh," and I don't think he said no. He only said, "Not yet. Let me get out of some financial responsibilities, and then we can look into it." But he didn't give me the time to really talk more about essentials, for example, that he can learn how to manage his money. He thought that everything was like the part of fixing the houses and fix and flip. But anyway, I'm still trying to get him to talk to me again. But if I wouldn't be in fear, I wouldn't know start that conversation. But I was in the faith and in the statement that no, I can help him, and that's what I'm right now. It's like I can still help you. It doesn't need to be like to becoming an investor, but to becoming a better individual in making better financial decisions and things like that. But that's where we at. And number 4, don't do anything that doesn't feel right. Don't do anything that doesn't feel right. This is really important. Sometimes you have that gut feeling of doing something and you don't do it. And it happened to me a lot of times. I feel like, oh, I need to contact this person, or I need to perhaps reach out to so many people, and suddenly I don't do it. And that was a good feeling. But sometimes I have a feeling like, I don't think I should work with this person. Or no, necessarily, I don't want, really, I can foresee that maybe, a conflict, personality conflict coming along with somebody, and I'd rather not work with that person. If you have that feeling, just do it. Let that person go. There's abundance in the world, and you can find another person. So don't feel like, oh, this person belongs to me. And it happened. It happened to me recently, um, actually like a year ago, and I noticed that this person signed up. It was not protected again because I didn't protect it for the second time. But I could have argued, hey, no, I've been working with this person for about a year. But I let it go because it's like, I'm not going to work with this person. And that was the feeling that I had. And it's better to let go. Okay, number 5, don't be afraid to spend time alone. Take the time for yourself. Take time to look at yourself in the mirror. Take the time to go in a walk by yourself and reflect. Look at the abundance across around you and appreciate the things. It's not only giving thanks for things, but it's better to appreciate things. When I drive down the street here and I start seeing the mountains in Utah, it feels so beautiful. I'm like, you know what? This is so beautiful. I really appreciate the beauty of that whole scenery. Why? Because it looks even like a painting. I don't know if you've been in Utah, but if you have, you can see that the mountains look like a painting. And to me, I appreciate that nature every single day that I'm driving through the mountains. But so it's different from saying, oh, thank you for these mountains. No, it's appreciating the beauty that is in deeper feeling. And that's what is suggested here, that when you spend time alone, then you appreciate the things around you. Number 6, avoid gossip and bashing others. This is so important. Sometimes you feel like, oh, this person is doing this or this person is doing that. You know what? Let it be. Don't, the same thing. Like, you don't have control of what they're doing. Don't criticize them. Don't be on that mode of judging. Let it be. Unless you want to go and try to help for something, but gossiping is different. It's like going to a friend and, oh, look at this person, look at that person. No, let it go. That's not good for any environment. It's not good for business or for your own feelings. So keep it very simple. Don't be bashing anybody else. Okay, number 7, speak kindly to yourself and to other people. Yesterday I posted this say that says, um, don't talk back about yourself because you are listening. And it's the same thing. Sometimes we are the same ones who put ourselves down by the things that we tell to ourselves. Oh, I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. No, you are. You have all the capacity in the world to achieve whatever you desire. Whatever you desire, you can achieve. Whatever you say you can do, then you can do it. If you say you can't do it, then you can do it. So it's how you talk to yourself. So make sure that you talk very kindly to yourself and to others. Number 8, please yourself before trying to please others. This is so important. In Spanish, we said, um, luz de la casa, o luz de la calle, oscuridad de la casa, light of the street and darkness of the house. Some people are always helping others, and they don't help themselves, or they don't help the people close to them. So it's very, very important that you start taking care of yourself first. Like in the airplane, they tell you, you put your mask first, and then you put the mask for somebody next to you. So it's very important. You take the oxygen for yourself first, and then help the other one. If your cup is not full, it's important. It's not. easy to give like water to anybody. So make sure that your cup is full, then you can offer to somebody else. And eight, number eight is the one that I just mentioned. Please yourself before trying to please others. Number nine, stay away from people who drain your energy. And I have talked to this about this in the last few weeks because I've been mentioning to you that I feel like when I was in Puerto Rico, it was like vampires of energy. Not even, my grandma know or my dad, but it was like even the TV, the things that are around you, the news, everything is so negative. So that drains you energy. Let go of anything that will drain or the vampires of energy. Take them away from you as far as possible. Don't be involved with people that are negative unless you want to start bringing, but it's going to take you so much energy to bring that other energy up. But it's possible, but it's difficult. So unless you are really, really prepared to help somebody else, it's very difficult. And sometimes the other people, they don't even know that they are so negative, and it's hard to recognize it. So it's better just to, what, it's okay. I'm not going to hang around with you or whatever. You don't need to be the enemy, but don't be involved with those people, because if you do, then they suck the energy and then you'll be negative as well. Um, One of my grandkids is a step grandkid, so I have been noticing that he's always like, "Oh, this sucks. This, that." I'm like, it's just because of what he's learning in the other house. When he comes here, it's different. But when he's coming, then everything is negative. And we are trying to fix that for him and to give him more tools that he can be positive. And this is so important with the kids because we are programming the children. And if we don't program them like correctly with the positive energy and with positivity, they're gonna really have that programming wrong when they become adults. I have somebody off mute.
But
Okay, and
Wanda,
number 10,
what's the name of
oh,
this list, Wanda? Sorry.
is the 10 steps to protect your vibe. And I don't know the reference. I picked it up from somewhere. I think these are my notes from a training that I went to, but I don't have the actual reference who wrote it. I
Nice.
I have it here because I took a training or something.
Thank you,
But
Wanda.
it's to maintain the vibe up. And number 10 is the last one, is ignore any opinions that don't enhance your life. If it doesn't enhance your life, it's an opinion. It's only an opinion. And everybody have a belly button. Everybody have opinions. So don't worry about it. It's somebody else's opinion. The other day I was talking to my other grandson and he was like, "Oh, I'm so mad." I'm like, "Why you are mad?" Because the the twins that I have, my grandkids twins, they don't pay attention to me. I said, it's okay, let it be. You don't have control of what they do. They don't. You only worry about what you can do. You helping them with this, give it to them, and if they don't take it, it's okay. So all of these things is just a matter of how you're going to approach, how you approaching life, how you are inviting that vibe to stay high all the time and for you to be in a proper um, positive, being positive all the time and being in the vibe of helping and loving. I'm reading this book. I think I mentioned this book before, but I'm in this group for a miracle. And we meet every Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning. No, it's 9 o'clock in the morning mountain time. And last Sunday we have like 300 people, and it's from all over the world, from India and all over the world. And we following these principles of for miracles that can happen. And the first step for those miracles is that you need to know what do you want. What do you want? And every day in my journal, I write, what do I want? It could be, what do I want for my business? What do I want for personal? What do I want? What do I want in general? Or what do I want for today? Then we follow a second step is a principle of Atiti Devo Baba. Atiti Devo Baba means that you're going to treat any unexpected guest as divine. And what this means is that even if you get in a pain, or even if you have like a feeling in a moment that comes to you just out of nowhere, that's unexpected. If an animal comes to you unexpectedly, even if it's a lizard or whatever, anything like that, you're going to treat it with respect and like it's a divine. Okay. And then you ended up your day, obviously, writing your gratitude, at least 3 items. Those are really, really good because what it have done to me is just giving me the energy to be in that positive state. In that book that I'm reading, that is about these miracles, I what it says, the first quote that it says is, I didn't come to teach you. I came to love you, and love will teach you. So basically, the highest vibe that we have is love. And if you are in that vibe, you can reach out really, really good. People who are coming into your life that you can share this business with. When you care about people, they don't care about what you know, they care that you care. And that's what you need to transmit to people, that you love them, that you care, that you're here to help. When you transmit that emotion, they feel it, they join you because they don't want to feel like you are selling them, that you're being pushed. They're going to feel like you want to help them for sure. And that's what I'm presenting to you today. Keep those 10 principles. I'm going to post it in the Facebook page, but keep these principles and keep your vibe really high. So when you meet people, they can feel that you love them, that you care for them, and that you are so positive that that attracts other people to you. And anybody have questions about what we just discussed? I want to open up the mic. I have one more thing that I want to share with you today, but right now I want to open up a mic if you have a comment or an experience related to these 10 principles or a question. Anyone? Let's see, any question in the chat? Oh my goodness, I have somebody who's really good typing. Good job. Who was that? Kili? Oh, Kili, she's such a sweet. All right. Doesn't seem like we have any more comments on the chat, but let me see. The first money-making activity that we have is seeing the people, okay? And sometimes we don't feel so comfortable in starting the conversations. So I want to share with you something that I learned from Richard Stocks. And he, in his ATM class, he teaches many of these items, but it's really something that will help you to break the ice with people and start conversations. It's very good for you to use it with warm market. If you have a friend, if you have a family member, you want to see, you can call them and say, hey, I have an assignment from my school and I need to present this mini presentation to 10 people this week. So if you have time, let's dedicate 10 minutes and I will show you this presentation. You can do it over Zoom, you can do it in face-to-face or however is possible, but it is something that is very effective to break the ice and to introduce people into the meetings. So let me share with you the screen I don't know if I'm a co-host. If you can make me a co-host, Kelly. Okay, perfect. Thank you
I
so
have a quick
much.
question, Wanda.
Yes, go ahead.
So we talked about this before when we were doing our weekly meetings together,
Mhm.
like ICMs, and we were all being accountable to you and just working together this summer. You mentioned taking people in your warm market, especially those you haven't talked to in a really long time, from a place of them being asleep. Like you can't just like wake somebody up and get them to go run a marathon with you. You have to like
Yes.
gently wake them up. And I think for some of the people in my warm market that I feel like are good candidates that fit my ideal person to collaborate with, I'm trying to work on a way that feels organic, that doesn't also give the sense that that's the only reason why I'm reaching out to them.
Mhm.
And getting them from that place of like completely asleep to having them be aware without it feeling like I said, that's the only reason why I reached out.
Good. This is very, very important. And thank you for bringing this up, Jenna. Yes, most people are sleeping. They don't know what you're doing. They don't. So you cannot just come and call them and say, "Hey, I'm going to sell you this. Well, I want you to join this school." You have to bring them step by step. This mini presentation that I'm going to show you is a very good opener to make people awake and to wake up people, to show them what you're doing. Because you introduce yourself by saying, "Hey, I have a homework that I need to do a little presentation to 10 people this week. And I just want to see if you just want to give me 10 minutes of your time to give you this mini presentation." The mini presentation, you're not selling anything. You're just going to open up this conversation. And that is going to give them the intrigue to then maybe ask you questions later. And that this presentation I'm going to show you now, and you probably have seen it. Richard Stock have done it in nationals. He did it in different ways, but I felt promptly that it's good for us to review it and get it into practice so you can go out and reach out to your warm market. And then once you make them awake, then you can introduce the school and Renatus, because then they will be aware of what you're doing and they can think, "Oh, if you do it, I can do it as well." Okay, so let me show you. I'm gonna share my screen here, and I'm going to show you how this works. Tell me if you see my screen.
Yes, we can see it.
Perfect. Okay.
We see your screen, Wanda.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So I'm gonna write on my screen here. And the first thing is that this is what you're gonna do. You call your warm market. You're gonna say, "Hey, I have a homework from my school," and this is true because this is Renatus, and I'm your instructor right now, and I'm giving you this assignment. So you're gonna do this for 10 people, and to 10 people this week. Or you put your goals. If you wanted 20 people, it's fine. And you said, okay, they let you in, or they let you into Zoom, and you're gonna start, okay, let me share something. And you start with dreams, okay? You start with dreams. First, you're gonna put your dreams. Or I'm gonna write here my dreams, okay? Okay, and you said, okay, Kili, let's play along in here. All right, Kili, thank you for allowing me to come to your house. Let me tell you, I just have to do this 10 minutes presentation to 10 people. So thank you for allowing me to come to your house and do this presentation. First, let me tell you, I'm doing this because I have dreams and aspiration. I personally, I want to be on a cruise around the world for 6 months, at least minimum 6 months. And so I love traveling. I like to travel. I like to be free and independent. When you talk, even if you don't know the drive for that person, I will suggest that you use the language for all five. for all 5. Use the word show you because that attracts the executive, independent, free and independent, the directors. Talk about communities for the relators, talk about system for the intellectuals, and talk about validation and recognition for the validators.
Your
So
screen share stopped.
Oops.
Just wanted to let you know.
Oh, thank you. Do you see it now? No.
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
No.
Let me go back. Thank you. All right. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, perfect. So I started right here with my dreams. Okay, Kaylee, my dreams, I love traveling. So I like to be on a cruise. I love to, let me show you also, I love to learn a lot. I love to, I think one day I'll be finishing my PhD. I don't know, but I think that's one of the things that I dream of. I want to have when I died, in the stone, I want to have my PhD behind my name. So you can, be talking about all of that and make a list of your dreams. Another dream is I want to jump out of a air 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 balloon. So you put your dreams in here. How about you, Keely? What are
For
your
me,
dreams?
I'm also passionate about traveling.
You're not?
I said I am also.
Oh, you are. Oh, good. So traveling. Perfect. Perfect. Where would you like to go?
I'd like to visit Europe.
Europe. Okay, perfect. We're going to write it down in here. Europe. Okay. And what else do you like?
I like the idea of having a animal farm sanctuary.
Animals. Okay, so sanctuary. All right, perfect. So let me tell you, Keely, right now, I know that you're working and we're gonna assume that she's on a W-2 job. So I learned from Robert Kiyosaki in the book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, that there are 4 ways to make money. And one is W-2, another one is self-employed, business owner, and investors, okay? So basically, as a W-2 employee, like you go to work and then you have to show up and everything, you don't have that time and freedom to travel, right? And unless they give you a specific vacation, you have to ask in advance and everything. So it's not like you want to travel tomorrow and you can jump on a plane. As a self-employee, it's pretty similar. Basically, you bought yourself a job. And if you don't open the doors, nothing happens, right? But we want to create a business ownership where you don't have to be there in order to make money, and also invest in the best investment is in real estate. So if I ask you, Kelly, in which one of these side of the quadrant, the right or the left, you can make more money? On the right or the left?
On the right side.
On the right hand side. Very good. And where can you have more fun?
On the right side.
Very good. So what I want to help you, Kelly, is to move from the left side to the right hand side. Will that be okay with you?
I would love that.
Awesome. Okay, so let me show you this. As a W-2 employee, if you make $100,000 a year, what is the first thing that comes out of your check?
Taxes, of course.
Taxes. And they're going to tax you about 30%. So that's $30,000 that goes out of your check in taxes. Okay. And that will leave you with 70,000. That leave you with 70,000. 70,000. And out of that 70,000, basically goes all of that for you life expenses, right? And at the end of the day, you ended up with zero, correct?
Yeah, that seems pretty accurate.
Exactly. So as an investor, because we have moved you business owner and investor to the right side, if you make investor, if you make the same $100,000, the first thing that you're going to tell the government is that you spend 70,000 in expenses. Then you have $30,000 left. Out of that $30,000, this is your adjusted income, AIG, adjusted
AGI,
income,
adjusted gross.
AGI, yeah, AGI. This is your oops, my pen, AGI, and then you're gonna get taxed from here. That will be like 30%, that's $10,000, and you have $20,000 left. What would you do with those $20,000, Keely? Will that be enough? And at that point, you go back to that dream list. Will that be enough to travel to Europe?
Definitely.
Would you do your animal savory idea?
I could get one started.
Very good. So basically, what we want you is to start by deducting as much as possible in your taxes and have this cash flow in your pocket. So, Kelly, let me ask you, will this money will be worth of your time to spend about 45 minutes to an hour in a Zoom call, 45 minutes to an hour in a Zoom call with me on Thursday?
Definitely. I'm very intrigued.
Very good. So I'm going to send you the link for the Zoom call, and we're meeting actually tonight at 7. Would you be available?
Yes, I'm available.
Very good. So that's how you make appointments. That's really good. So this is one example, but Richard has many more examples. This one is for somebody who's working on a job, in a W-2 job, but we have examples for taxes, for different things. And if you join Richard for his ATM course, you can see more of these presentations. But
Hey,
anybody
Wanda.
will take the challenge. Yes, go ahead, Meg.
When did you say that call was to learn more about this? Or maybe I misheard.
Richard has the ATM classes, and I think he's starting one very soon. You can I can figure it out and put it on the chat.
Okay.
Not in the chat, but in the Facebook page. So if you want to learn more about these strategies, he has probably, I would like to say, like 10 different mini presentations like this that you can just pull out of your sleeve, depending on what type of person you're talking. Or he has one for mortgage, for velocity banking. All of those different ones that you can talk to people about velocity banking and introduce the different topics with someone just in a very short presentation. And from there, you have make them aware, and then you can invite them. So your purpose when you go to the house or you have these conversations is to invite them to meetings. So that way you have your see the people, you tell stories, and you build for your events, and then you follow up. All right, good job. Thank you. Anybody else have questions? Anything that comes to you from these conversations? Have you seen it before, or if this is a good review?
So in this case, it's like you presented like somebody that you're showing how to save in taxes. So for most people that are looking to, get rid of debt or all that, you present kind of like the velocity banking presentation in a short version.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes,
okay.
And you also talk about the he always start with the quadrant, with the dreams and the quadrant. And then when he brings the conversation, then he brings the velocity banking and said, okay, let me show you how you can get rid of debt really quickly and move into, if you have a mortgage, for example, and your mortgage is this amount, and you do a HELOC, this is what you can do. And it goes through that. I think I have a few more minutes. Let me share my screen one more time and see.
So the 4 quadrants with the taxes is just a hook to get them more interested,
Yes.
to book them for the
Yes.
next event.
That is correct, yes. Okay, so let me show you with velocity banking. So you go through the same process. You talk about the dreams, you talk about the quadrant, and then velocity banking, in that case, then you say, okay, let me show you something. It looks like you have a house, and your house is worth, for example, $200,000, and you owe 130,000. Okay, so you can go to the bank and ask for a HELOC. And a HELOC, right now, if they can give you, I don't know, from 80 to 100% loan to value. Okay, on the HELOC. So let's say on this example, they give you a line of credit of $160,000. So that means that you're going to pay the 130,000. You're going to eliminate this debt and put it into your HELOC. Then let's say you have a car as well that you owe 10,000. So you eliminate this loan and you're going to put it into the HELOC. That's 10,000 here. So you still have the same amount of $140,000 in debt, but now you have this $20,000 left that you can invest. And when you start making payments on this line of credit, it works this way. Let's say that now you owe 140,000, but you make money, you make $5,000 a month. So this is going to go down 135 if you put all your salary here, 5,000. Then your expenses are 3,000, for example. So that goes up and then goes down to 138, and then you put 5 more and it goes down to 138 minus 5, 133. Then you put 3 more on your expenses every month, 136. And then you put 5 more from all your monthly expense, all your monthly earnings, you put it into this account. So now it's 130. So you do the math, right? And then continue on, and you just show that you can pay this off between 7 years, 6, 7 years, 10 years, and you can bring the velocity banking, which I have here. I always carry my velocity banking with me. Velocity. So I have my velocity banking form and they can fill it out. Don't fill it out for them, but you can give this form to them and say, hey, fill this out, and you can calculate how much, how fast you can go out of debt. So that you can do in a mini presentation, and then from there, you invite them to the meeting. Does that make sense?
That was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So those are 2 conversations now that you can bring out. The W-2 for people who are employed in a W-2 job, and somebody who owns a house that you can help them how you're going to pay off your house faster with the velocity banking.
Wanda, where do you get that velocity banking worksheet?
It used to be passed around. I can post it also in the chat. So go back to the recording of this presentation in Facebook, and I will post it there. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And you can grab it and use it. Like I said, to be in compliance, do not fill it out for people. Give it to them, and they can do it. So that way you're not asking, what do you owe here? What do you owe here? Or how much do you make here? No, you just let them fill it out, but give it to them. Okay. All right, guys, you are awesome. You have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend, and I talk to you next week. Unless you have any question.
Thank you so much, Wanda. This is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wanda. I appreciate you.
Bye-bye. My pleasure. Bye-bye, guys.